Hello students, welcome back to a new video of Sunanda's tutorial. So it is a special video for plus 2 first year students, those who are interested in taking science or interested in science stream or studying science. So today we will discuss the unit 3, that is cell structure and function, which is present in your plus 2 first year science biology syllabus. So let's start. At first, what is a cell? A cell is the basic structural, functional, and biological unit of any living organism. So, cell is the structural, functional, and biological unit of living organism. A cell can replicate itself independently, hence known as the building block of life. All organisms are made up of cells, and the study of cell is called as the cell biology or cytology. Then, who discovered the cell? He is the scientist. Here is the picture of the scientist who discovered the cell, Robert Hooke. He discovered cell in 1665 and named these cells as room. He concluded that these were non-living entities because he studied the cell or observed the cell in cork cells. In cork cells, and cork cells are the bark cells, and they are generally dead. So he studied the cell from a cork cell. So he concluded that the cells are non-living entities. Later on, Anton van Leeuwenhoek observed that these cells show motility. The motility was observed by him because he used a compound microscope with higher magnification. And later on, he concluded that Leeuwenhoek concluded that these microscopic entities were alive, and eventually, after a host of the other observations, these entities were named as animalcules. So later on, Leeuwenhoek observed these cells and termed it as animalcules. Next. So this is the microscope which was used by Robert Hooke, and these are the dead cork cells which are observed by him using this microscope, and it is the microscope which was used by Leeuwenhoek, and it has better magnification than the Robert Hooke's microscope. Then characteristic of cells. What are the characteristic of cells? It provides structure and support to the body of the organism. The cell's interior is organized into different compartments, that is, in separate organelles are present in a cell. Nucleus is the major organelle or brain of the cell. Then each cell has one nucleus and membrane bound organelles which are suspended in the cytoplasm. Then mitochondria is the power of the cell which provides the energy in the form of adenosine triphosphate. Adenosine triphosphate. This adenosine triphosphate was produced by the mitochondria. Then lysosome is present which digests all the unwanted material of the cell. Then endoplasmic reticulum is also present. So we will study all these organelles in detail. So there are two types of cell. One is prokaryotic cell, one is eukaryotic cell. So both have differences between them. Uh, the two most striking difference between these two cells are uh, the prokaryotes have incipient nucleus. They lack the true nucleus because nuclear membrane is totally absent in case of prokaryotic cell. But in case of eukaryotic cell, they have true nucleus. And the another one most common difference between these two are this prokaryotic cell have lack the membrane bound organelles, but the eukaryotes have membrane bound organelles. Apart from this, these are some differences between these two types of cells. Like prokaryotes have small in size and eukaryotes are larger in size. Then single circular naked DNA is present in prokaryotic cell, but in case of eukaryotic cell, they have histone protein. The cell wall is composed of peptidoglycan, murin or mucopeptide in prokaryotic cell, but in case of eukaryotic cell, the plant cell have cellulose, fungal cell have chitin, and cell wall is totally absent in animal cell. Then mitochondria, plastid, then GERL system. What is GERL system? GERL system composed of Golgi bodies, endoplasmic reticulum, lysosome. So all these are absent in prokaryotic cell. Vacuoles are also absent, but in eukaryotic cell, all these structures are present. The ribosome is 70S type in prokaryotic cell, but it is 80S type in eukaryotic cell. 9 plus 2 arrangement of microtubules are absent, but the flagella of prokaryotic cell is composed of flagellin protein, but the 9 plus 2 arrangement of microtubules is present in eukaryotes and it is composed of tubulin protein. Then plasmid and bacilli are present, but it is absent in eukaryotes. Respiratory enzymes are present in plasma membrane in the form of in forming the mesosome. Mesosome is the invagination of plasma membrane in prokaryotes, generally in bacteria. But in case of eukaryotes, the respiratory enzymes are present in cytoplasm as well as the mitochondria. The cyclosis or the movement of cytoplasm is totally absent in prokaryotic cell, but it is present in eukaryotic cell. The cell cycle is shorter duration. Cell cycle means all the events that occur during the cell division when one cell divide into two. So the the duration of the cell cycle is shorter. It takes about the 20 to 60 minutes, but it is longer in case of eukaryotic cell. Then cell divide by fission or amitosis. Amitosis means a false mitosis where the it is not the true mitosis. And fission means the division of cell. Only the cell divide haphazardly to form two cells. Then in case of eukaryotes, it divides by mitosis and meiosis. Then these are some examples of prokaryotic cell and these are some examples of eukaryotic cells. Then plant cell and animal cell both are eukaryotic in nature. The plant cell have cell wall as their outer layer, but animal cell lack cell wall. They have plasma membrane. Then two plant cells generally connected by plasmodesmata. It is the connecting link between two plant cells. But animal cell have gap junction between two cells. Then cell wall make it rectangular in shape. Then animal cell generally circular. A large central vacuole is present in plant cell, but it is absent in animal cell. They are either small in size or altogether absent in animals. Nucleus is peripheral because a large central vacuole is present in plant cell, but in animal cell, the nucleus is centrally present. Organelle like glyoxysome, spherosome, and plastids are present in plant cell, but it is absent in animal cell. Golgi bodies are in scattered form known as dictyosome in case of plant cell, but in case of animal cell, the Golgi bodies are in aggregated form. Mitosis is anastral type in plant cell. Anastral means spindle fibers are not formed during the mitosis or cell division, but in case of animal cell, they produce the spindle fibers or aster is formed and from that aster spindle fibers are produced. Then plant cell can synthesize all amino acid, vitamins and coenzymes by their cells. But plant cell cannot synthesize all the amino acids, vitamins and coenzymes. Then starch is the reserve food material. All the foods or the glucose produced during the process of photosynthesis stored in the form of starch in plant cell, but in animal cell they are stored in the form of oil and glycogen. Then cytokinesis takes place by cell plate method and cytokinesis in animal cell by furrowing method. What is cell plate method? During the cell division, at first the nucleus divide into two and then the cytoplasm. During that cytoplasm division, the plant cell divide or the cytokinesis occur in plant cell by cell plate method. A plate or a cell wall at first formed between these two nucleus at the center. Later on, it will grow towards the periphery, and this method is known as centrifugal. And finally, two cells are formed, or a wall between these two nucleus is formed, separating the cytoplasm. So it is the cell plate method. But in case of animal cell, suppose it is two nucleus furrows produced like this, and they develop towards the center, finally detaching the cytoplasm and separating the two cells from each other. So this is the animal cell and this is the plant cell. It is rectangular in shape and animal cell is the circular in shape. Plant cell have cell wall as their outer layer and animal cell have plasma membrane. Plant cell have chloroplast, but animal cell lack the chloroplast. Inside that chloroplast, chlorophyll pigment is present, and using that chlorophyll pigment, the plant cell can produce their own food material, so known as autotrophic in nature. But animal cell do not have chloroplast, so they cannot perform the process of photosynthesis. They cannot prepare their own food and depend on others for their nutrition. So they are heterotrophic in nature. Then cell theory. Cell theory. It is a theory which was proposed by Theodor Schwann, Sleden, and Rodolph Virchow jointly. Jointly, these three scientists proposed the cell theory or the theory regarding cells. So, what are the basic points of this cell theory? Uh, so, the cell theory was first proposed by Schwann, then Sleden and Schwann jointly proposed two more points. At first, Theodor Schwann concluded that all organisms are made up of cells. Then Schwann and Matthias Sleden jointly observed the plant cell and animal cell and concluded that cells are the basic unit of life. Then Rodolph Virchow observed the plant cell and animal cell, and after careful observation, he stated that omnis cellulae cellula in his language. And what is the meaning of that? The meaning of that is all cells come from the cells. That means all cells arise from a pre-existing cells. So now the what are the 3 points of cell theory which was proposed by these three scientists, Matthias Sleden, Theodor Schwann, and Rodolph Virchow. They jointly proposed 3 points of cell theory. And what are those points? The cell is the basic functional and structural unit of all living organisms. All living organisms are made up of cells. All cells arise from a pre-existing cells. Next, the cell structure. The cell structure comprises individual components with specific function essential to carry out life processes. These include components like cell wall, then cell membrane. In order to cell wall, cell membrane is present. Then cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is the matrix or fluid part of the cell. Then nucleus. It is the central part or brain of the cell. The nucleus control all the activities in that taking place inside the cell, and various cell organelles are present. So till now we have discussed what is a cell, difference between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell, then difference between two eukaryotic cell, one plant cell and one animal cell, then cell theory, and Tomorrow I will discuss different cell organelles which are present inside a cell in details, their structure, their function, and how they look, what are the composition of that cell organelle, what are the function of those cell organelles. So we will discuss all the organelles, about all the organelles in details tomorrow. So please stay tuned and enjoy my videos like this. Today, for today, I am concluding my lecture here. Uh, Tomorrow again we will continue with this, and please stay tuned, like my videos and share with your other friends, and subscribe to my channel Sunanda's Tutorial. Thank you.